the world to experience and explore through your views and your ideas. The Indian economy has increased in size from being the 10th largest to the 5th largest economy in the world. We are diverse, democratic, and demand-driven. Our demographic dividend is uniquely poised to usher in an era of rapid social, economical, and environmental and technological innovation and advancement. It is fueled by the emotion, energy, and actions of young minds like you. Some of you would recall at the National Youth Festival this year, which was held last month, Honorable Prime Minister remarked that today there are global voices saying this century is India's century. It is your century, the century of India's youth. Whether it is the millennial generation or the Gen Z, today's youth are born into the digital, globalized, and constantly evolving world filled with uncertainty, immense space, potential, and limitless possibilities. It's wonderful to see the youth won't settle for the average and have triumphed through turbulent times to make their mark in the world. That is why I'm curious to hear you more and learn about your thoughts on various global issues. I had the chance to meet some of you and I look forward to sitting through more sessions. I'm told that I'm told more than 21 delegates, where 7 male and 14 female have attending from various parts of the world. Is 3-day event. And I'm thankful to the government of Assam that they have organized Y-20 talks in various parts of the Assam, and many such leading speakers are present here today. Thank you for being here and thank you for participating in such talks in various parts of the Assam. We have picked a few themes, and themes reflect our times, needs of our times. Future of work, climate change and disaster risk reduction. We have seen yesterday what happened in Turkey and Syria. Unfortunately, thousands of people have lost their life. I'm thankful that Prime Minister Modi has sent the India NDRF team also to Turkey to help them during this disaster time. We have done so in the past in Nepal. We have sent our teams to Nepal also. So I was talking about the various themes we have picked up for this Y-20 Inception meeting, which is future of work, climate change and disaster risk reduction, peace building and reconciliation, youth in democracy, health, well-being and sports. All these are very relevant and important topic for all of us. And I firmly believe that young people are the largest stakeholders and they have to play a very important role in the present, and they are the builders of tomorrow. Youth will inherit the future they build, and that is why I urge you to utilize this opportunity to brainstorm and build network wisely. A few weeks ago, Prime Minister Modi underscored that, and I quote, "The runway is ready for youth to take off, whether it is for the economy or education, sports or entrepreneurship, skill development or digitization. You, the youth, now have a mission to make a global impact," I unquote. PM Modi also said that he strongly believes that by the end of this decade, emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, coding and others will have evolved significantly, and data science and cybersecurity will have occupied much deeper part of our lives. So our youth should be prepared with their skills. With all these opportunities, more for our youth, I would like you to take back this roadmap in your careers and lives. And for the international youth gathered here, I translate the mantra. Amrit Kal is Adhigam Kal. Leap forward and learn from people, places and your failures. Amrit Kal is the Avsar Kal. Take advantage of the plethora of opportunities and seize the day. Last but not the least, Amrit Kal is the Kartavya Kal. The mantra of duty towards the nation is first and foremost. If each of us follows the Kartavya Path, the world will definitely attain new heights of development. Youth is the engine which drives the nation towards success. Innovation, entrepreneurship, and problem solving will be the cornerstone for the youth-led development anywhere in the world. And in India, we are not only talking about the women development, but women-led development. There are ever new evolving opportunities in agriculture, defense, sports, media, and entertainment. Social entrepreneurship and youth are the drivers of this revolution. So my young friends, this is the historic time when optimism and opportunities are coming together. So we ought to stand united in order to unleash the true potential what awaits us in the future. I will end with a few thoughts and questions for you. Young people must decide, will you lead or will be led? Will you be an employee or aspire to be an entrepreneur? Will you be the generation that puts a man on Mars or continue to marvel at the moon landing? Will you be the generation that heals the world of its health problems or live in the hope for cures? Will you be encouraging or will you encourage a sustainable lifestyle for the planet or be the generation that sit quietly watching the extinction of life around us? Will you be the makers of a better future of world and masters of your destiny? Because your time is now and the clock is ticking. Thank you for listening to me patiently. Thank you once again. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, sir, for the address. Ladies and gentlemen, our Honorable Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India, Shri Anurag Singh Thakur ji. And now we open the forum for interaction, but a humble request, those who want to speak, those who want to share their views and opinions, please first introduce yourself and then share whatever you want to. So, sir, with your permission, shall we start? Yeah. Can we have the mic, please?
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Arjun Kumar. I am a student of IIT Silchar. So my question is regarding nowadays it's an era of digitization. So digital age. So recently we had one social media intermediary guidelines or rules, we can say. But most of the platforms were failed to comply and to appoint grievance redressal officers. So what are the further steps taken by government to we can say immunize our youth from the misinformations coming from various parts of world?
Thank you for raising a question which is very relevant today, especially when we all have gone through the COVID-19 pandemic in the last 2 years. When I was addressing one of the conference at the United Nations, which was held digitally, most of the countries talked about infodemic rather than pandemic. Because of information, more lives were lost. So these platforms are made available for a right communication, positive communication, which could be used. But unfortunately, certain peoples misuse that. But then there are certain guidelines. There are 3 tiers of redressing that. One is at for example, OTT platforms or the others. There are such, when you can reach out to the producer, you can write and they can address that. 95% of the problems are taken care by any platform. They take care of that content, either they change or stop that. Second is at the association level and third is at the ministry level. Very few comes at the ministry level as far as the entertainment or the news are concerned. Government of India started the PIB fact check, which is the Press Information Bureau fact check, about the government policies or the news about the government. And we have been doing that successfully for the last 3 years. Now the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology is under the process of consulting various stakeholders, taking their feedback, what else could be done in that direction to address this challenge. On one hand, this platform is utilized by many such reporters, media persons or individuals to create more awareness or to spread the right news. There are positive pros and cons of this social media platforms, but I'm sure there will be more maturity and it will be used in the right direction in the years to come.
Thank you, sir. We have the lady in this row, please. Yeah.
Hello, sir. My name is Anubha Shukla, and I launched my startup 2 years back. I will quote you here. You said not women development, women-led development. I would request you to explain what steps are we taking in that direction.
See, if you look at this year's presidential address, India has a president who is a woman and comes from a tribal area. This shows the power of this democratic country. A woman who started her political career from being elected as a Parshad to a post of president, a corporator to a post of president, Rashtrapati, that is one. Second, on 31st of January, the presidential address happened in the parliament. On the 1st of February, the finance minister is also a woman who has given the budget this year, and a historic budget, I must say. So not only this, if you look at any field, you will find women are doing extremely well. I was looking at the previous session when I could see 4 women sitting here and a woman moderator. I could see Sarita Devi and Shreyasi Singh also sitting, the 2 sportswomen here who had made the country proud. Not only that, if you look at the Tokyo Olympics, who won the first medal for India? Mirabai Chanu, a girl from the northeast. Look at the Commonwealth Games. Who won the first gold medal last year for India? Mirabai Chanu, again a woman. Who won the 2 consecutive medals for India in 2016 Olympics and 2020 Tokyo Olympics? PV Sindhu, again a girl, a woman-led development. If you look at 80 lakh, which is 8 million self-help groups in India, where 90 million women are member of that, they are leading from the front. How many of you heard about the Lijjat Papad? Lijjat Papad के बारे में सुना है किसी ने? You know, way back about in 1959, who started that? 7 women from the outskirts of Mumbai, they came together with the 80 rupees loan. And they started as a self-help group, started making papads. Where do they stand today? They have more than 49,000 members as their self-help group. They make 4.6 million papads every day, and they have a turnover of 1,800 crore rupees today. So, from thousands of women in our elected democratic setup, from Panchayat Pradhan to MLA to Zilla Parishad member to a member of parliament and to the FM to the president of post of president. Look at the deputy commissioner today. You have a woman who is a deputy commissioner. Secretary of Youth Affairs, again a woman. So everywhere you will see the women are leading from the front. And if you go to any school or college, which I have noticed in my constituency, if I go for any annual prize distribution function, out of 10, 7 are girls. That clearly shows Women are leading from the front, girls are leading from the front. So there are opportunities available today from banking sector, fintech, to the other sectors, from space to the 26th January Republic Day parade. You could see the women riding the motorcycles, you could see the women leading from the front in the Republic Day parade. That is the India today where women are leading from the front. और ये महिला विकास नहीं, ये महिला नेतृत्व विकास इसी की पहचान है. From a pilot to a fighter jet pilot, women are leading from the front.
We have this gentleman in the second row. Yeah, please.
Hello. Good evening, fellow participants and Honorable Anurag ji. Myself, Sean D'Souza, co-founder of Nicholas Social Welfare Society and SVCAN organization in Andhra and Karnataka. My question to you, sir, is youth in politics. Government has been discussing at length nowadays. I wish to understand from you, can the concept of new policy, new public management be a pipeline for India to accelerate lateral entries in the government system to absorb young and multidisciplinary professionals in public service?
I think if you look at the decision of Modi government, we allowed the lateral entry, and I worked with a couple of officers who came with the experience in the private sector, working with various multinational companies, and they have been an asset to the government. I've seen them working very well. They have been very helpful, the kind of exposure they had, especially in the finance department. One joint secretary level ranked officer who was looking after the insurance part. He was very, very helpful. The kind of exposure he had, he has actually been a help to the government. In certain other areas I've seen, and I've interacted with various officers who have been part of the lateral entry during the COVID-19 pandemic, when as a Minister of State for Finance, I used to interact with various departments. I could see it's a great help for the government, and it's an open area where I think more and more people should join. Apart than that, since I've been an elected representative for the last 15 years as a member of parliament, this is my 4th term. I've seen a lot of youngsters are coming into the policy side, whether they are graduate, postgraduate with a doctorate, or maybe from the medical profession coming into the policy side. They are helping to make good policies also. So we need more and more young people into the policy side, whether as an elected representative, or whether as a researcher, or as a lateral entry into the bureaucratic side. I think we need more and more people into the policy domain.
Thank you.
The gentleman in the second row, the last, yeah, this. Please give, no. Can we have the mic, please? Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir, for your time. My name is Michael Sianipar, and I'm from Indonesia. I was the chair of Y-20 Indonesia last year. And before going to my question, I first want to applaud Y-20 India and your government. You've done a tremendous job. It's beyond what I expected coming here. Even better than what we have done in Indonesia for the inception meeting. So the question is, sir, we have many forums. We have given opportunities for young people to gather and voice their ideas. But a lot of times, leaders want the votes of the young people more than the voice. So how do you ensure that the voices that are being voiced out in forums like Y-20 will actually be implemented on the national, local, and even on the global scale? Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, if you look at India, as I said earlier, we have the largest youth population in the world today, and 1/6 of the humanity, if that is in India. I can only assure you that being the largest stakeholder, they've been involved in various processes. Look at this Y-20 meeting. We could have limited it to the inception meeting, then the pre-summit and the other major meetings. But we have taken it to the grassroots level. In the state of Assam itself, there are more than 50 meetings already held in various colleges and universities, and you could see the youngsters from those universities who spoke well, and they are participating here today. In this year, you will see more than 1,000 Indian universities, colleges participating in this event. and their voices being heard, and whatever suggestions they will make will be part of the paper we're going to make by the end of this Y-20 meeting. So not only during the Y-20 meeting, we are also celebrating the 75th year of independence. We are doing the Yuva Samvad, which is the youth dialogue across the country. We have done more than 300 programs, but we'll be doing more than 1,000 programs apart than the Y-20 talks of the Yuva Samvad in the country. Looking at the various different topics apart than these 5 themes of future of works to the climate change and the well-being, or the youth participation in the democracy, this is for the Y-20 talks. Apart than that, we'll be talking about the Panch Pran, which the Prime Minister talks about the 5 resolves for the Indian youth in the next 25 years of this Amrit Kal. We engage, it is not me as a youth minister, but our Prime Minister also have a lot of engagement with the youth. We see a lot of MPs doing the Sansad Khel Mahakumbh today, which they organize the various sports in their constituencies. Even the Prime Minister speak to the youth during those programs, interact with them. So we have a Prime Minister who already interacts with the youth. Similarly, our various ministers are traveling to various parts of the country. One day, one university, these kind of programs are being held. And you will see a lot of programs. Will reach out to the Director IIT to have more programs here. And I'm thankful to the Director IIT for making such wonderful arrangements. I've been hearing about it today. I met the previous director also 2 days back in Delhi. I'll like to make a point here. Yuva Sangam. Yuva Sangam, a new program we are going to start, where people, the students from higher educational institute, from the other parts of the country, from various states of the country, they will travel to the northeastern states, these 8 states of the northeast, and they will travel, they will live in the various parts of the northeast. There will be a buddy system where their students will interact with others and also engage with others, will know about their culture, art, tradition. That will create more bonding. The first program is going to start in the February of this month, where 1,000 students will travel. 300 from 8 states of Northeast will travel to the other parts of the country, and 700 from other parts of the country will travel to the Northeast. We're going to make this a great success that in this next 1 year, more than 50,000 students will travel from this part to the other part of the country. So there is going to be a lot of youth engagement in the country, not from youth to youth, but also from the leaders' side with the youth as well. So we'll have more youth engagement here as well. And if you have something to learn from Indonesia's experience, we'll be more than happy to learn that at the dinner table as well. Thank you.
We have 2 girls there actually raising their hands. If our team could just please go up to them.
Good evening, sir. My name is Pratima Preet. I'm from IIT Mizoram, and I would like to ask you a question. What must be the role of political parties in selecting clean and healthy young politicians?
See, for any political party, the first thing is to pick a candidate who can win the seat for you. And to win an election, there are many criterias for that. And especially in today's world, when in the age of this digital media and where the people are more aware, where you are not only dependent on the newspaper or the linear, which is the TV channels, but also on the digital platforms from various platforms. Now, political parties are also under a lot of pressure to pick the right candidates. And I could see a lot of youngsters are keen to enter into the field of politics, which is a good sign that we need more educated, with a clean background, such youth to be part of this. They want to be part of various platforms available within the political system. Many want to contest the election at the panchayat level and bring the change at the grassroots level. Many want to want to become the member of Legislative Assembly. And I've seen in the last 15 years, there's a sea change from one political party to another, where they are also looking at a lot of youngsters to be part of their ideology and to become an elected representative. I request all of you, whichever political party you think you want to be part of, whichever ideology you feel to be part of, be the part of the system and be the change you want to see the change and drive that. You are, as I said earlier, you are the stakeholder and you should play the important role. You can't sit at the fence and could see either the country going this way or that way. Let us work together and take India to the level which India deserves today. And India should lead, and world is looking at India to lead.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, this gentleman in the corner. Yeah. Can we have the mic, please?
Good evening, sir. I am Shayantan. I am a part of Think India NIT Silchar. I am from Jorhat, Assam. So my question to you is, sir, the main problem with entrepreneurship nowadays is the fear that if they fail, they might miss out many years of their lives that can go to a waste. So can we discuss with the government or non-government to figure out some policy to have some career securities in place so that we can encourage entrepreneurship?
I think when Prime Minister talked about कि युवाओं को रोजगार मांगने वाले देने वाला बनना चाहिए, he talked about that rather than seeking a job, you should be the job giver rather than the job seeker. So here is the example where in the last 7 years, the youth of this country has made India proud. We came out with the policy of startup ecosystem. Look at where India stands today. 7 years back, we were nowhere at the global map. In less than 7 years' time, India is the third largest startup ecosystem in the world today. 90,000 startups, 107 unicorns with a worth of $30 billion today. When the major companies were shutting down during the pandemic time, it was the Indian startup companies which were acquiring those companies or such companies in India and abroad. So I think I see a lot of possibilities where today's youth, I see they are getting into the space of fintech to the agriculture. Why I'm saying from fintech to the agriculture is, on one hand, we have a successful story of UPI Beam, where more than 728 crore transactions happened last month, worth 12.62 lakh crore rupees. Record transactions happened when people from Silicon Valley like Sundar Pichai or Satya Nadella comes to India and they say they still carry a hard copy of COVID vaccination. And India, all of you have a digital copy on CoWIN app. That is how India has progressed. When major economies were writing checks to their citizens in India, Prime Minister Modi was clicking a button and transferring funds worth 31,000 crore rupees to 20 crore plus women with a click of button. That is the power of digital payments today in India. So, on one hand, it is the digital platforms. On the other hand, it is the agriculture where we used to look at the fertilizer, jahan ek gunny bag with a 50 kilo gunny bag we used to carry. Now we have a nano urea with 1 liter bottle, you can have the fertilizer. On the other hand, it is the drone which is making the delivery system much better and also being used for the spray of fertilizers today. So from one field to another, there are ample opportunities. And especially when we talk about the future of works, from artificial intelligence to Internet of Things, machine learning to coding to the 3D printing, there is huge scope all we need to see is where are the challenges and how can we be the problem solver. There lies the scope of becoming entrepreneur. And I'm sure youngsters like you from NIT, IIT and other such institutes will look at the engineers especially to become the problem solvers rather than the problem creators.
We have the lady in the second row.
Good evening,
Yeah,
sir. I am
please.
Sanjeevni Joshi
Just a minute,
from...
please. Ma'am, please, just a minute. Yeah. We have the lady in the second row. Yeah.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Nane. I'm from Russia, and I'm representing our group of Ayurvedic students. We study in Ayurveda in India, doing BMS, Bachelor in Ayurvedic Medicine and Surgery. And most of us, we came to India to study Ayurveda as we see immense depth and importance and greatness in the knowledge that India preserved through the Vedic culture and Ayurveda specifically. So I have two questions. One question, as we are learning this beautiful science, we have main request how Ayurveda can be used not just as a medicine. Nowadays already it's getting recognized more and more. Even we are studying in Jamnagar. Already the WHO center is established there, which showing the recognition. So our question, how Ayurveda can be implied not just as a medicine, but as a prevention, especially for young generation. Because Ayurveda, it's not just a medicine, it's the way of living. And in our scriptures, it's written how lifestyle from childhood can impact the health, the well-being, on all levels. So first question, how the knowledge of Ayurveda can be spread from the childhood, from the school timing. It can be introduced to the kids as a lifestyle which can bring a very big and good perspective to their health and well-being. And second question about care of doctors and medical and Ayurvedic students as well, because we are facing very tough type of education. I think it's about all students. So in a way, we're learning the science how to take care of our health, but the condition of the studying is so harsh that actually very rarely doctors take care of their health themselves. So how we can just support new generation to imply this deep and very ancient, very beautiful knowledge to help everyone live better? This is my question. Thank you.
Let me first thank you for selecting India for your education. And secondly, thanking you for picking Ayurveda as your area of study as well as your career. We have seen during the COVID-19 pandemic the power of traditional medicine, because the traditional medicine is not on animal-based, it is on herb-based, plant-based. So one is, please be seated. So one is that the power of Ayurveda. Kada suna kisi ne ki nahi suna? So during the COVID-19 pandemic, two things helped, yoga and Ayurveda. So the things which were ignored in India for a certain period, and we looked at the Western world, COVID-19 pandemic somehow made each one of us realize the power of Ayush, Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha and homeopathy. That is the power we have. I think we need more research papers and more recognition at the international level. There is a huge market locally and globally. And I've seen many member of parliaments to a common man sharing their experiences with us, which the other medicines could not do. Our traditional medicines have actually helped them to recover. One experience I would like to share with you. I come from a hill state of Himachal Pradesh. Hamirpur is my constituency. In 2018 April, I started a program of mobile medical units because I could see, people in difficult times, they have to travel 3-4 kilometers by foot to catch a bus and then to go to a hospital for a checkup and to get treated. I started a program called Sansad Mobile Swasthya Seva, which is the mobile medical units. I started with 3 mobile medical units initially. These go with a doctor, lab technician, nurse and test them, give them free medicine, free checkup, free OPD. There was a great response. Now from 3 we have made 30 mobile medical units now, done more than 8 lakh patients testing free of cost and free medicine in the last 3 years, 4 years. Now on one part is the cure, which we are already doing. And what you talked about the prevention. When I went through the data, I put some experts on that job to look at the data. They've gone through 2 lakh people and they found that majority of the problems are lifestyle related. So if we have to prevent this, then rather than sending doctors there, we need to create more awareness about their lifestyle. What needs to be changed, what needs to be adopted, what should be their right eating habits, how much they should exercise, what is the right posture, and other things which are related to it. I'm not an expert as far as the healthcare is concerned, but you raised a very relevant point. I'll talk to the relevant people within the system, our health minister and to the Prime Minister, how we can adopt it more and more. But one thing which I've seen in India, that things are changing very fast. And somehow the online platforms are a big advantage today. Even if the question which you raised today and some suggestions which you have given, when everyone is going to share that on the online platform, more and more people will get educated and they're going to get more aware about the things available at home. Thank you for the question. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of hands, so I have to make my reply a little short, so I'll try and do that to take more questions.
Good evening.
Or what I'll do is I'll take 4 or 5 questions at one go, then I'll reply. Is that fine?
As you suggest, sir. So can we have the question, please?
Yes, sir. Thank you to give me a chance of question. I'm Hyunjin. I'm from South Korea, who is studying, researching on Indian philosophy in Delhi University. Yes. After I finished my MA in same Delhi University, I got quite surprised that Indian students are very smart. Indian students are really good at expressing and debate logically. They know how to express their opinion logically. Unlike Indian students, unfortunately, I think in my country, Korean education system doesn't teach how to debate and express one's opinion logically. So, in my opinion, when it comes to youth, political participation of youth, education can be an extension of politics. So I want to ask you, from which tradition of India this strength of debate and listening comes from? Yeah, thank you, sir.
Which tradition of India?
Yes, from which tradition of India this education system, this strength in education, debate, oral debate and logical self-expression comes from? Yeah, this is my question, sir.
So shall we take some more questions? Yeah, this fellow. Yeah, please.
Good evening, sir. So this is Himraj Go here from Guwahati Engineering College. So my question is, there is no doubt that persisting in Indian politics requires much more than confidence and hard work. So what are certain fundamental principles and mindset that we need to instill in ourselves as youth to be able to take part in Indian politics and become able young leaders of the future?
Thank you. The lady in the middle.
Namaskar. I am Bhumi Sharma. I am the national focal point for India at the Youth Constituency of World Meteorological Organization. Following up on what you just said, that a lot of people from different sectors are inclining towards policy making and are doing a tremendous job there. But I would like to highlight the lack of an established program for inducting youth in the United Nations delegations from the Indian side, even though there is a set guideline by United Nations present on their website. Yes.
Thank you. The gentleman there, yeah, who's raising his hand, please.
Good morning, sir. Myself, Gunjan Kumar from Center of Sustainable Polymer, IIT Guwahati. Sir, as a part of Central University during my graduation, now in IIT, as both has a student body election, the major difference, I think, is the political exposure that a student body get. So my question is, what steps the government has taking to encourage more students from institutes like IIT, IIM and NIT to be a part of mainstream politics from the starting days after completing his course from the institute like IITs. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sir, we'll take one more question. Yeah, gentleman there. You can give the mic to the person there. Yeah, please.
Good evening, Anurag ji. I am Arnab Roy from Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati. And my question to you is, sir, that after pursuing a higher degree, so youth is the human resource of a country. After pursuing their degree, they tend to move in international countries or Western countries, seeking different benefits that they think they'll achieve in that country that cannot be achieved in India. How will you address that mentality of the youth, sir?
Yeah, please. Gentleman in the first row.
Good evening to one and all present over here. Good evening.
I'm sorry, who's speaking? Please don't speak unless you'd be asked. Yeah, please, you can ask the question.
Hello. Is it working? Oh, yes. Hello, my name is Keita. I'm this year's Japanese delegate to Y-20 2023. First, thank you for this great organization and warm welcome to this to India and Assam State. I'm having a really great time with all interactions. So my question is about how to systematically incorporate these communications and representations of the youth. So not only these formal events for the particular times of the year, but how can we, in long term, in a grassroots level, how to incorporate these channels of youth to show their voices, to communicate to the decision makers, so that our voices of the youth are constantly reflected in their decision making. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sir, please. Yeah, the lady in the first row there.
Namaste, sir. I'm Shriprada Indrakanti from the United States of America. I'm studying in Ayurveda in SDM College of Ayurveda and Hospital, Hassan, under the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, External Affairs. So my question for you today is, so yesterday I just came from a conference in Kerala on Indian knowledge systems and traditions, and I observed that the Chinmaya Vidyapeeth, which was organizing that event, had incorporated the IKS system, and the first module being the national pride of the country. And how does this help for the youth of today? I mean, if they spend time on learning about their national identity and associating with their national pride and the country's history, how does that improve global interconnectedness? Thank you.
The gentleman in the first row, please. Yeah.
Namaste, sir. I'm Pascal. I'm a law student and a consultant. My question to you, sir, is more on the lines of student politics, sir. I see two extremes in India. One, the institutions where student politics sets a bad example to the entire globe, I would say. On the other hand, I come from an institution, I have pursued my undergrad, wherein student politics is not encouraged and in fact discriminated upon to the extent that student politics has become a taboo of sorts. So does the government consider working with the education ministry to set up a platform of sorts to regulate student politics across the nation, sir? That would be my question. Thank you, sir.
The gentleman in the third row, sir, shall we continue, with the questions? Yeah. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Namaste, sir. I'm Sanket. I'm currently building a cultural brand, That Indian Monk, which focuses on reviving cultural ethos of Bharat and IKS. Along with that, I'm working with Pinaka Technologies, which is a cybersecurity firm. So my question is a bit general, which occurred in today's panel discussion, which was about mental health and some policies about sport. So when we look at district level or a state level or a normal player who is involved in any kind of sports. So these people undergo through a lot of stress and, such situations which are unaddressed, and even parents do not understand. So how government can intervene into this and create some interventions, at least at awareness level, so that some things can be done for these people as well. So this is one of the questions I wanted to address. Thank you.
Thank you. The gentleman there, yeah, sitting next to you.
Good evening to one and all present over here. Good evening, Anuragji. We always talk about betterment of humans, but we also understand that animals are also an important part of our global ecosystem. My question is, why there is no strict laws against animal cruelty? We usually see that stray dogs, cows are abused and ran over by vehicles. Why government does not run free spay and neuter program for stray dogs? Also, don't you think zoo should be closed, as we are depriving animals from their natural habitat just for our sake? What is your take on this? Thank you.
The gentleman in the middle in the white dress, yeah, white shirt rather.
Good evening, sir. My name is Sanjeev Singha from Guwahati University. So in your introductory address, you mentioned about demographic dividend that India has. So as you said, women-led India. So my concern here is that the labor force participation, the female labor force participation in India is not that desirable. So what your idea and what would you advise to the young generation to reap the benefit, to optimize the labor force participation, especially the female? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The girl in the last row, we can see some hands, yeah. Yeah, please.
Good evening, sir. Myself, Shikha. I am from Assam Women's University, student of Mass Communication and Journalism. So my question is, as we know, media is the fourth pillar of our democracy. So as a youth, how can we use it in positive direction? Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, the fellow in the middle. You can ask your question, yeah.
Thank you for recognizing me, ma'am. Sir, we live in a country where cricketers are one of the most highest paid professions. But let me present before you a real life story from the city Silchar in Assam where I live. There is a girl who was selected for a Commonwealth powerlifting championship to be held at Auckland, and she required 2.5 lakh rupees from her side, not paid by the government, to participate there. She stumbled from doors to arrange that money. She even went to many political leaders, MPs, MLAs, and finally she had to find herself in debt to arrange that amount of money to represent herself at Auckland. And fortunately, and by her ability, she had won the silver medal there, representing India at Auckland. So what you as the Minister of Sports in India can do to even include such versatile sports of powerlifting, weightlifting and others as well, in addition to cricket, and make them mainstream financially?
Yeah, the gentleman in the third row.
Hakaloke Namaskar. My name is Sanadya Sinha, representing Think India and IIT Silchar. My question is that, sir, after the abrogation of Article 370, there has been a civil society group in Ladakh who have been demanding the protection of resources and employment. And in September 2019, National Commission for Scheduled Tribes strongly recommended the inclusion of Ladakh under the 6th schedule of Article 244. So what does the MHA does not even addressing the issue, concluding that Schedule 6 is meant for the Northeast and Schedule 5 can be implemented in the Ladakh. So what are the future course of actions the government is planning to implement to secure the tribal rights for the people of Ladakh district?
Thank you. Yeah, the lady there, she's raising her hand.
Good evening, sir. I am Tanvi Kurekar from ICT Mumbai. I wanted to ask that what the basic qualities should a youth have in leadership qualities to make India a world leader? Thank you, sir.
Okay. Please, ma'am.
Thank you. Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militan Gyana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namaste overall. Honorable Anuragji, my name is Raquel. I'm from Brazil. I am studying Ayurveda in Jaipur. And thank you for this amazing opportunity. And I would like to share with you that we are already running a project in Brazil for established there the first authentic Ayurveda Gurukula there. And my request to you is please bless us for we continue this project there, because this is also an opportunity for youth people who work abroad, and also for Vaidyas, because the idea is that Vaidyas go to Brazil for teach us there, right? And please help us and establish this project there. This is my humble request. Thank you.
Thank you. So can we take some more questions? Yeah. Okay, right. So as you suggest, please.
Thank you for your questions and some suggestions which have come this way. I mean, what qualities you need to become a world leader? क्या लगता है क्या qualities होनी चाहिए भाई? Any suggestions to become a world leader? What kind of qualities one should have? Leader who could empower other leaders. One, and what else? Leader who could empower citizens and accountability. Leading from the front. Compassion. So one earth, one family, one future. Vasudev Kutumbakam. See, the answer we all know. One has to be clean, disciplined, dedicated, compassionate. At the same time, a commitment towards the growth of the country as well as towards the welfare of the citizen, welfare of the poor. And when you are committed and dedicated, I think nobody could stop you. First thing is you should believe in yourself, then the others will believe in you. So you should have that confidence in you, then the world will believe in you. And I'm sure many of you will do well in whatever field you'll pick. Not only politics, many other areas, wherever you go, you're going to do well. About the 370-35 way, if you look at your question was very different, but I'll answer it in a different way, that for the tribals, not only in Jammu and Kashmir, but otherwise also, even in this budget, there is announcement to open 740 Eklavya schools to look after the 350,000 tribal children which can go to the school. More than 38,000 teachers will be hired, and a special budget has been earmarked for that. That is one. Second, in Jammu and Kashmir, when it was difficult to even hoist a national flag, after the abrogation of the Article 370 and 35A, you could see last year when we were celebrating the 75th year of independence, Har Ghar Tiranga Abhiyan, in every nook and corner of Kashmir, there was a Tiranga flag hoisted on each and every house. So there is no special status, that is one. It is like any other state of India where people are having the equal rights. The one question about the women workforce, I think there are many areas where women are doing extremely well. But yes, if you look at the organized sector, the women workforce is still very less in India. It is only 20-25% in India, which should be much more. But if you look at the self-employed women workforce, it is much higher. If you look at the total Mudra loans which have been given, 34,37,000 crore rupees has been given. Out of that, 69% are availed by the women in this country. That means they are more into the self-employment, whether through the self-help groups, entrepreneurs, or small works they are doing. But yes, in many areas, many sectors, we need more women participation. But you could see that from the defense sector to the other micro, small, medium enterprises, the women are in large numbers today. But yes, the number has to be increased. Animal equality, I believe, I agree with you in certain areas. We see the farmer who takes the advantage of a cow till the time she is giving milk. She is like mother, but the day she stops giving milk, she's been left on the road or in the jungle or elsewhere. So I think it is our responsibility, not only of the farmer, but also as a society. We have seen the mistreatment to the dogs, to the other animals as well. But there's a lot of awareness today. There are a lot of people who come forward to adopt dogs as their pets, who are the stray dogs, to take care of the cows to the other animals who are left on the streets. There is a sea change from the past 10-20 years. We have seen a different society now. More awareness is being created and people are also becoming more sensitive. There is another change. If you look at India, few years back, the kind of problem we used to face with the cleanliness. Now more awareness is generated. A lot of youngsters, they believe in keeping the country clean, their area clean. They don't throw their chips packet, the toffee, chocolate, or the water bottles on the road. They try and dispose of that in the dustbin, or they keep it in their bag and dispose of at the right place. So there is a change happening with the passage of time, with creating more awareness. All we could do is we can be the change what we want to see the change in the country. So let us start from our home, from ourselves only, and we could see a lot of change. Mental stress, yes, not only for the athletes, but to the common man, students also. We see a lot of suicides today in the society. We could see a lot of stress among the youth. Yoga, Ayurveda to others, meditation is another area which help us to de-stress ourselves and rejuvenate ourselves. Let me say one thing here. परेशानियां तो हर किसी की जिंदगी में होती हैं. परेशानियों से भागना बहुत आसान होता है. हर जिंदगी में एक मुश्किल इम्तिहान होता है. भागने वालों को कुछ नहीं मिलता जिंदगी में, लड़ने वालों के कदमों में ही जहां होता है. So let us fight against the odds. and I'm sure you're going to take over all the stress. Regularized student politics, मैं तो यही कहूँगा, मैं तो खुद छात्र नेता था. I emerged from the BJP Youth Wing President. I was the longest serving Youth Wing President from 2010 to 2017, doing a lot of agitation across the country, and took a yatra from Kolkata to Kashmir from various parts of the country to hoist the national flag, where I was put in the jail to hoist the national flag in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Now today I could see Jammu and Kashmir is a different state today, with no such restrictions and all that. I think youth, I mean, why do you look at only doing the student politics in university or the college? Nobody stops you to take up any issue and make it a big issue. Whether in the campus, off the campus. Today there are various platforms. You can start any debate online, offline. There are a lot of opportunities today. But yes, we have elected representatives from students, among students also in various universities and colleges. But if you want to see any changes, we can still discuss that with the Education Ministry and also with the Election Commission of India. There are few more questions on why youth is, educated youth leaving country. I think there was a stage when a lot of youngsters wanted to leave and build careers overseas. But today I see a lot of youth coming back home because they see more prospects and aspirations back home, and they see more value in India rather than overseas. So time has changed. And I'm sure a lot of youngsters like you going to build their careers and also contribute towards the growth of India. Wherever you go, I'm sure the youth of India is going to make India proud, and you are going to contribute towards the problem solving, whether in those countries or in India. You are going to be the problem solvers rather than the problem creators. You have talked about the UN Young Global Leaders, how we're going to pick. We can discuss that internally within the department, how we can do that. Someone from Korea talked about where this tradition of discussions or talks started. It is in our Shastras. If you could see, we are not only the largest democracy in the world, but India is the mother of the democracy. So it is a thousands of years old tradition. And that is how the society where we stand today. Not only that, somebody talked about India. What about Indian culture, art, tradition? All I want to say is for today's youth, when we talk about celebrating 75th year of independence, that doesn't mean India is 75 years old. Our history is thousands and thousands of years old. There's a rich tradition, art and culture. Unfortunately, in the past, not many were talking about that, but today we can proudly say it is not only the revival of Somnath temple or the Kashi Vishwanath temple or the Kedarnath temple or the Hemkund Sahib or the Buddh circuit or the Ayodhya Dham. These are not only the temples or the places of worship today, but ये आस्था के केंद्रों के साथ साथ अर्थव्यवस्था के केंद्र भी बने हैं. From a places of worship to a places of economy, it has also emerged as a place of economy because lakhs and lakhs of jobs have been created around that. A rich tradition, culture which we look at the same time, a huge infrastructure has been built around that. So I think we should know our country well, not only for the last 75 years or the 200 years or the 600 years of Gulami, but also we need to come out of that mindset of Gulami today. That is why Prime Minister, when he talked about the 5 resolves, उसमें एक जो कहते हैं गुलामी की मानसिकता से बाहर निकलना, वो बहुत जरूरी है. और उस मानसिकता के साथ निकलने के साथ साथ गौरवशाली इतिहास पर गर्व करने की बात भी करते हैं. और ये गौरवशाली इतिहास जो भारत का है वो दुनिया के बहुत कम देशों का है, इसलिए उसको जानना बहुत जरूरी है. और हमने एक सीरियल भी शुरू किया दूरदर्शन पर, स्वराज, जिसमें महिलाओं से लेके बहुत सारे महापुरुषों की स्वतंत्रता सेनानी के रूप में भी उसको दिखाने का काम किया गया है. और भी क्वेश्चंस हैं?
Sir, I think as you suggest, shall we take some more, sir? Or?
I think if they are hungry, if they want to have dinner, you can. I think they were supposed to have dinner at 7:15. It is already 8 o'clock. Whatever is your wish, as rest of you could join me on the dinner table, sit with me and ask your questions if that is fine. If you still want to ask questions, I'm fine to take your questions. It's up to the organizers.
Yeah, there are so many hands raised actually, so we can simply go on and on and on. So if you suggest, ma'am, can we just... Yeah, I'm really sorry, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, we have time constraints. So, sir, with this, shall we just wind up the dialogue?
Up to you, I mean, I'm fine with anything.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom, for your encouraging remarks. And ladies and gentlemen, now we have come to the last leg of our today's event. So, in concluding session, may I first invite from the Y-20 Secretariat, Ms. Valentina Brahma and Mr. Devansha.
मैं इनको इतना जरूर कहूँगा.
Please, sir.
Because you all are studying in very prestigious educational institutes, you all be looking at building your careers, building fortune for your family, giving them a very comfortable lifestyle. But please remember when Prime Minister talked about Amrit Kal. And from this Amrit Kal to Swarnim Kal, this yatra of 25 years is very, very important. And please remember those 5 resolves, Panch Pran. और मैं इसको हिंदी में जरूर कहना चाहता हूं क्योंकि आप सबके लिए है कि भारत को विकसित भारत बनाना है. वी हैव टू मेक इंडिया डेवलप्ड कंट्री. हमें गुलामी की सोच से बाहर निकलना है. हमें अपने गौरवशाली इतिहास पर गर्व करना है, कला संस्कृति इतिहास पर गर्व करना है. हमें एकता एकजुटता को बनाए रखना है. किसी भी जाति धर्म के होंगे, सबको एकजुट होकर रहना है. और हमें नागरिकों को कर्तव्य पालन करना है. वी शुड नॉट सीक ओनली राइट्स बट वी हैव टू डू आवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, डू आवर ड्यूटीज एज वेल. सो मैं इतना ही कहूंगा, कितनों की तकदीर बदलनी है तुम्हें, कितनों की तस्वीर बदलनी है तुम्हें, अपने हाथों की लकीरों की ओर मत देखना, इन लकीरों से भी आगे जाना है तुम्हें.
Thank you so much.
So please enjoy your years in this educational institute. Please enjoy your years when you are studying in this prestigious college. But remember one thing, these kind of functions or these kind of events, when they are organized, they give you an opportunity to network. And networking is very important. You'll remember that in the years to come, your network will be your net worth. So create a good network, know more people, engage with more people, share your ideas, share your knowledge. You will get more exposure. Only your books can't teach you everything. Travel as much as you can. चढ़ जाओ किसी भी ट्रेन पे अपनी छुट्टियों के समय बैकपैक लेकर and see India. Go and visit most parts of India. See the villages of India. You will learn a lot. मैंने पढ़ाई से कम, मैंने सफ़र कम करके ज़्यादा सीखा है. इस देश के कम से कम 400-500 शहरों को, गाँव को, जिलों में मैंने जाने का काम किया है. That gives you the insight of India, what India is. नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस हो, महात्मा गांधी हो या नरेंद्र मोदी जी हो, इन्होंने देश को देखा है, तभी देश को आगे बढ़ाने का काम किया है. आप भी देश को देखिए और अपने भारत को आगे बढ़ाने का काम अवश्य कीजिए. मैं आपसे इतना निवेदन जरूर करना चाहूंगा.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister Sir. for guiding us, for motivating us. So we have with us Ms. Valentina Brahma and Mr. Devesh Shah.
है अब ये पूरा इलाका बीटिंग रिट्रीट समारोह का मानो मंच बन जाएगा। दर्शक दीर्घाएं भरी हुई उत्सुकता का वातावरण, आज की बारिश के बाद ढलती रोशनी में और भी भव्य लगती इमारतें, खिले फूलों के रंग बिरंगे गुलदस्तों जैसी क्यारियां, बसंत की निराली छटा चारों ओर बिखरी हुई। थोड़ी ही देर में इस पूरे माहौल पर एक जादू सा छा जाएगा। सेना का संगीत गूंजेगा, संगीत सरिता बहेगी, संगीत के सुर और जगमगाती रोशनी का ये जादू साल में एक बार लौटता है, जब हम मनाते हैं गणतंत्र दिवस समारोहों का भव्य समापन समारोह, बीटिंग रिट्रीट।
Namaskar. Good evening and welcome to Vijay Chowk, where a sliver of the Indian Republic is gathered today to witness one of the most resplendent ceremonies of our Republic Day celebrations, the beating retreat ceremony. Vijay Chowk today, living up to its name, representing a victorious and absolutely beautifully converging point where martial